Apologize, my hands were dry. All right, so I'm coming at you today with growing your business on Instagram. So I kind of put this presentation together so you can understand what the demographic you're looking at, the Instagram algorithm that they can somewhat tie down, and all of that. So let me get this pulled up here and we'll get rolling. I don't know why. I don't want this box here. Don't mind me, I'm just breaking stuff. Full screen mode. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I made it a PDF. Like normally I make these in Google Drive, so it's easy, but I made this one as a PDF, so it's totally new territory for me. Full screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen okay? Anybody? Chelsea, will you not? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, I can see you too. Thank you. All right. So growing your business on Instagram. Obviously, social media is a huge factor in anybody's business, no matter what business you're in anymore. Social media is huge. Presence on social media is huge. And don't think of huge as like you have to do so much work. I feel like that's where a lot of people get a little shy around social media, around their business, is they think they need to like post all this stuff all the time, and you really don't have to. So I just want to dive in today on what studies have shown around your business and Instagram. So the first things first is you need to understand the demographic that you are broadcasting to or marketing to on Instagram. So this information all is from like this year, starting in January. So this is the distribution of Instagram users worldwide as of January 2021 by age group. So as you can see, the highest percentage, which is 33% of users, are aged 25 to 34. And if you look over here, according to NAR, the average age of the first-time home buyer is 33. So not saying that anybody above or below that age is buying or rebuying. I think the average age of like a repeat buyer is like 47. So still not in the highest range of Instagram use, but a lot of the age that you are targeting for this are going to be first-time home buyers or along those lines. So these two numbers play hand in hand. So it's important that you realize who your market is and who your demographic is. That way you can market yourself appropriately. So, understanding Instagram. So according to Overlow, there are 1 billion monthly active users on Instagram, and more than 500 million use it every day. Now, those 500 million that use it daily are on there for an average of 53 minutes. So you've got about an hour to captivate them and get it seen. So again, businesses using Instagram, 71% of businesses in the US use Instagram. Hold on, I'm gonna shut the door. What that means is that a good market is already there, which shouldn't scare you away. It should just let you know that you need to figure out what exactly you want branding wise and stuff like that, and we'll get to that later. And then again, 50% of Instagram users follow at least one business. So if you're on there, the more relevant you are on Instagram, the more likely you're going to be followed. And everybody follows at least one form of business. If you use Instagram, even if you use it lightly, you probably have at least one business on there that you follow. 90% of US marketers name Instagram as the most important social media platform for influencer marketing. So that tells you that of the businesses that are marketing on Instagram, they feel like that is the most important. That is where you're getting the most attention, the most likes, the most shares, the most comments, the most saves. So as a millennial, you would think I would heavily use, I'll be completely honest, I don't really use Instagram. I didn't really get into it. But from a business standpoint, it's huge. And I can say I'm like one of the very, very minority of millennials that don't heavily use Instagram. I'll be honest, I never got on it, but I do know plenty about it. And I've learned about it from a consumer and a business standpoint to help you guys market yourselves a little better or start marketing yourselves if you're not. So 76% of social media users advertise on Instagram. So that tells you that over the majority of people go to Instagram for advertising. And then the top two most effective content types for influencer marketing are posts and stories. So posts and stories are where you want to have your top priorities on. And if you have any questions throughout, feel free to interrupt me, I don't mind. Instagram helps 80% of Instagrammers decide whether to buy a product or not. So what that means is that Instagram's algorithm is pushing this information to them based on who they follow, what they're liking, what they're like. It's honestly, it's all AI. They are learning these people, your mannerisms, what you like, what you don't like, and pushing content based on those listed items. And then Instagram can generate over 4 times more interaction on Instagram compared to Facebook. Now, Facebook is solid. It's been around longer than Instagram, obviously. Not saying you shouldn't use Facebook, but with the way this market is, you're going to have to start changing it up. So seriously, it's important. So engagement. So not saying that 3 and 4 or even 2 is not as important, but this is in the order of your, as everybody calls it, clout. So the more relevant you become on Facebook is by saves versus shares versus comments versus likes. They all make a difference, but saves make the most. Shares come in second, comment, and then like in fourth. So you don't want your who you're marketing to just to like or comment. You want them to actually share and save if you can. So your posts want to focus on engaging. You want them to engage, not just look at it and keep scrolling. You want to ask questions. You want to do little surveys or quizzes, stuff like that, just to get people to interact with your posts, because that's going to keep making you more relevant on the news feed. So these are the 4 key factors that influence the Instagram algorithm for feed posts. So there are 2 different feeds. There is the feed that of who you follow, and then there is also a discover feed. And discover feed is just those compilations of things that they think you would want to see based on what else you follow, whatever else you like, whatever else you comment on, or save or share, that kind of stuff. So you're going to get new people from that discover feed, whereas the people who follow you are going to see you on their follow feed, which they're both good places to be at. So one is not more important than the other, but I wanted you to know the difference. So the first thing is interest. You have to be consistent with posting in order to stay in the algorithm and give your users more to interact with. So they recommend you post once a day on Instagram. So that means, 1 post a week, or 1 post a day for the week. Relationship. Instagram tries to calculate the depth of your relationship with your followers. So the more they engage with you, the higher the presence will be. So they want to, again, that comes back to that AI, that artificial intelligence, that is seeing how often, I don't know if they do this with Facebook too, but like somebody's page or Instagram feed that you like or follow or share often or comment on often, you're more likely to see them. So the more they engage with your posts and your pictures and stuff like that, the more relevant they're going to be on, the more relevant you will be, on their pages. So again, going back to that, asking them questions, this or that, stuff like that, to get them where they can't just look at it and say, oh, that's a pretty house. Do you prefer this style house or this style house? And that gets them to engage. So they're still pretty houses that you're showing to them, but it's asking them a question. And I would say probably 8 times out of 10 people engage with that. I do it. I know if I'm scrolling through Facebook, or even if I'm on Instagram and it's something like that, like especially in the stories and stuff like that, I'll engage. Like, what does it hurt? It takes 2 seconds, So you want to build those virtual relationships and get people to engage with your posts, then that would make you more relevant. The timeliness. Instagram not only watches how often you post, but how old your engaged posts are. So they recommend that you post between 9 and 11 a.m. our time. If you're going to post on Instagram, that is the most engaged time of the day. I didn't see any specific days in the research that I did. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I just didn't happen to come across it. So between 9 and 11, I don't believe Instagram has a scheduler. I think you'll have to go to like third party if you want to set something up like that. It's where you can schedule a post to be created, to be posted on your news feed. So that way, like say, or on your whatever it's called. Sorry, my brain's broken today. But there are third parties that can do it for you. I'm not sure the cost of them or if any of them are free, but 9 to 11. And then number 4 is it can be worth systematically removing inactive or ghost followers. If a large percent of your following is inactive, they could be doing more harm than good for you. So you need to keep tabs on who's following your Instagram. Not saying a high number is a bad thing, but if it's a lot of inactive users, then it might do more harm than good. So if you notice like one doesn't have a profile picture, or if you go to it and you haven't, they haven't posted in a year and a half or in 6 months, you might want to get rid of it. You can just make them unfollow you, and just to help your business. Any questions on those? No? Okay. All right. Everybody's favorite thing, hashtags, or the pound sign, depending on what generation you grew up in. So hashtags, why use them? So it was created originally to allow you to find things easier and share common things together. So studies have shown that with Instagram hashtags, it isn't the case of the more the merrier. You want 5 or fewer. And then you don't want to use the same hashtags over and over again, because they will shadow ban your content. And that means like blocking it or partially blocking it, and they don't tell you. So you have no clue that nobody's seeing your posts. So 5 or fewer hashtags, which over here they said that average post is 10.7 hashtags, but I'm not saying you can't ever use over 5 if you wanted to, but just try to not have too many hashtags on your posts. That way you don't get kicked out of the algorithm. And then to change it up, because if you repeat the same hashtags over and over and over again, like I said, they can block some of your posting. So use Hashtag Expert. It's an app to help you create hashtags. So basically it's a generator that if you type in a word like real estate, it's going to give you all kinds of hashtags that is relatable to that word. So obviously for your brand name or your team or group name, you're going to want that on there, or KWXL or KW Capital Partners, your market center information, or KW, hashtag KW, stuff like that. I would feel comfortable with repeating, but just don't put the same ones on every single post. And then the use of the hashtag add-on increase on Instagram increased by 133% from February 2018 to February 2019. So that's a huge deal. Don't be putting posts on Instagram without hashtags is what that tells me. But yes, hashtag expert app. Use that to help you generate hashtags for your posts. Keep it fresh. And then you get into your branding and your style. There's a few different approaches you can take to it. And it depends on your personality, what you want to portray for your brand, your company. So if you look at Katie Lance here, she keeps the same, and this is literally a snapshot of her reel. So she has pretty much the same colors in every picture, the reds, the blues, the grays. So if you have a logo and you have specific colors that you follow for your marketing, make sure you're including them in pretty much all of your posts on here. It just looks more fluid. They're more likely and more eye-catching. And they'll remember you that way better. When you think of, I say this all the time, when you think of Pepsi, you think of red, white, and blue. When you think of Monster energy drink, you think of that lime green. So associate colors to your brand if that's what you choose to do. And then over here we have Dusty J. Baker. He is a realtor, I believe, in California. And as you can see, like, he mixes the personal in with the professional. So there are, other than visual, there are also like personal touches that you can include. Again, it just depends on your personal preferences. I know some people are not comfortable broadcasting their kids or their family on social media, and that's perfectly fine. I want you to know that if that's not your route, that is a-okay. Everybody can have different levels of access to their personal life, but you can also keep it strictly professional or not too in family depth and still have, respectable followers, and people will still think you're a human. So don't feel like you have to just air all your dirty laundry on there if you're not comfortable with it. So looking at Dusty's, he's got a picture of his wife, a couple they went out with, that kind of stuff. His son's right there. Even like those kind of photos, his face is to, his back is to the camera. So even though you can relate that he's a father, you're not necessarily seeing his kid in respect to like parent privacy kind of stuff, parent and child privacy. So, but if you notice for his Just Solds, they're all the same template. So they look uniform, even though they're not the exact same shot. And then we have the Sweat Bros over here, who they are a team out of California. They are Keller Williams agents. And they are strictly professional. You don't even really see photos of them in their reel. It's kind of funny, but they're very successful and they have strong Instagram and social media presence, and they keep it 100% professional. Just good, high quality photos of their listings, of, stuff in their area. So think of this as your epicenter of you. So if you want to post local highlights, not only are you helping out other businesses, you're also showing your followers that you know the area. So feel free to get creative with posting what you want. But if you want to be all over the map, be all over the map. If that's your style, have at it. I'm not saying one thing is better than the other, because it's not. But just having common or fluidity in it will help. Even if it's craziness, that's a style. All over the place, bubbly, loud, that's a-okay. So but you want to think about this before you really dive deep into these. You want to think about, what do I want to represent? What do I want to include or exclude with my personal life, with my professional life, that kind of stuff. So these are just things to take into account of think about and map out what you want first and how you want to present it, and then work on building that fluidity throughout your reel. And then I have some awesome Instagram pages you need to check out. If you don't have an Instagram, go create one. It's super easy to make. And spoiler alert, Instagram is also linked to Facebook. So whatever you post on Instagram, you can duplicate it to post on Facebook. So, you know, you're just kind of taking the work out of doing it on both. Yeah. So whatever you post on Instagram can be copied to Facebook. So absolutely utilize that tool to your advantage. So you can cover more social media platforms with less work. But Chelsea Pites, she's doing it. She's in the business to help other real estate agents grow their Instagram pages. So I'm actually going to pull her up real quick just so I can show you what her page looks like, and you will be able to see from each one of these. Right. Yep. Perfect, Chelsea. She said vice versa for stories as well. Facebook stories can be shared on Instagram simultaneously. So yeah, that's the little videos that you can make. Those are the Facebook stories. So share those on Instagram as well. So I'm going to pull this over real quick just so you can see hers. So as you can see, she's got kind of a color coordination. Again, she is in real estate. Make sure you put your little bio in here and then your link tree as well. But she keeps to the same colors roughly. She uses the same, you know, black and white with those colors if she's posting. But you can see the trend of what she's doing, even though some are a little crazier than others. She involves her kids. Again, that's what you want. If that's what you want, I'm sorry, you know, what to post. So this is going to help you. Her Instagram is going to help you build your Instagram business. Let me pull it over here and show Katie Lance. She is same thing. She's going to help you build your business on here. And Instagram is completely free. I don't know if there's anything on here that costs money. I don't think so. But I mean, to set this up and put this on here, I mean, you're doing it for free. So it's free marketing. As you can see before, I took a snapshot of her reel right here. It's, I mean, she pretty much keeps the same colors. And I recommend, if you want to have these, create a template, whether it's in Designs or if you like to use Canva, create a template, and then that way you can just plug in the words that you need to, and there's very little you need to do to create these photos if you're doing a generic photo for like a podcast or something like that. So absolutely, as you can see, even her New Year's is color coordinated on, you know. So I encourage you to explore some of these people and see what you like about theirs and kind of go from that. And then as well as with posting, go on other agents and see what they're doing for ideas. So these are the Sweat Bros again. They're the Keller Williams agents, but literally, like, other than their photos, I honestly don't know if they have photos of them on here. They're all literally just businesses or, you know, listings that they had. It's all houses or some form of architecture, pretty much. So again, that just goes to show that you don't have to air all your family out on social media on your business side if you don't want to. Like, that's beautiful. But yeah, I could go on forever. Oh, there's a picture finally. Yeah, that was how long of scrolling before we got an actual picture of a human. So absolutely engage in this. I mean, they have 3,000 followers. That's pretty decent, I think, for a real estate agent. But check all these people out. I will send everyone this slideshow as well. So if you want to go back and reference it, or if you at least want these Instagram pages to check out, let me know. Do I have any questions? All right, well, I will let everyone go, and I hope you all have a great weekend. If you are working, which I'm sure most of you are, best of luck to you, and I'll see you next Wednesday. I'm doing, what's next Wednesday? Team Command. If you are on a team, check into that, and then I will be out of the office next Friday, so you'll catch me the following week. So, all right, everybody, have a good weekend. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.